Lovable horses. There might not have been many cars, but there were a lot of horses. They weren't only used down in the mines either. They were used to deliver freight, to bring coal to the homes, and for travel in the bush. Frank Marcy drove the hay, a low, strong cart, for its owner, Harry McKenna, who also owned wagons and wheels, wagons on runners, and even the honey wagon, which was used for emptying the outhouses. Dick Craig used horses to pull wagons and sleds of logs out of the bush on his mill. In and around Catamount were a number of multiple horse owners. I can remember Charlie Alfonso, Ed Coast, the Hagblad brothers, Balboa, Jack Gosney, Leonard Allen, Jim and Ed Madams, and many others who had one or more horses. The Hagblad brothers and Jim and Ed Madams could take their pack trains out with big game hunters from all over the world, cook stove and all. They came for the mountain sheep, with the trophy curl, and the moose, with record spans. There were mountain goat, elk, deer, cougars, brown, black, and grizzly bears. Wealthy hunters from all over the world, mainly the U.S., would hire the outfitters and guides. A hunter's paradise. I think the government was charging $250 to $350 a trophy head in those days. The outfitters would also take groups from over to Miette Hot Springs or back up to the Cardinal Divide with the pack trains. Other small parties would go by horseback to the Little and Big Mackenzies, Penimba, Brazeau rivers, where the fishing as well as the hunting was great. We had rainbow trout and grayling in the river and trout in almost all the streams. Wildlife officials restocked some of the streams with the eastern brook trout. There were other varieties like speckled brown trout and cutthroat as well. I liked them all. To me, a trout was a trout. In the springtime, they'd have to bait fish using malagmites or maggots. Very little else worked. On the way up to the Hog's Back Road, in a gully up behind the mine, there was a horse graveyard. You could get all the maggots you wanted there. We put them in cornmeal and they came out nice and clean. It was common knowledge that Bill Ince used to keep them under his lip while fishing. I guess it kept them warm and they wiggled more. We got the malagmites from under the rocks along the river. Roll one over, and you had your bait. If not, roll another one over, and they were plentiful. The Pembina River had Dolly Verdon, the pink-fleshed fish. During July and August, we used flies such as Jock Scott, Royal Coachman, Silver Doctor, Light and Dark Montreal, and the Mosquito for fishing. A few spinners were used. Many groups enjoyed the pack trains to Miette Hot Springs. Rita Girardi gave me a picture of miners in the pool at Miette. The pool is a good size. For those not fishing, hunting, and horseback riding, there was hiking and berry picking. We had an abundance of wild berries, along with my favorite, the huckleberry. There were very low bush cranberries and low bush blueberries, wild raspberries, gooseberries, and bitter wild currants. There's also wild strawberries, which took a lot of patience to pick. The huckleberry grew on a 12 to 16 inch bush and was dark purple or black in color. We didn't have the red huckleberries.